here are the 3 things that I look at before I make an investment. So these are the 3 things that I use in my 3-step vetting process in order to identify whether I want to invest in a particular investment or not. And guys, trust me, 80% of investments, maybe even 90% of investments that are given to me and proposed to me, I never pull the trigger on. And it's because of one of these 3 things not lining up with where I want to be with my investments. And so the first thing that I look at before I ever even consider an investment is the industry that it's in. And it's not just because I want to be in particular industries just because I like them. It's because I believe that there's profit to be made. So for example, right now I'm super favorable on industries like real estate, private air travel, so private jets, that type of stuff, as well as green energy. So I have seen those industries have a lot of potential, and I believe that that potential is going to be unlocked within the next 10 to 20 years. So I want to position myself strategically in those areas. And guys, that's not to say that there aren't any other investment areas or sectors that are going to produce a lot of income. Those are just the ones that I'm focused on. You know, it might not fit your portfolio at all, but for me, those are industries that are very, very interesting, and I see a lot of potential. I could literally see billions and billions of dollars, even trillions of dollars being made in these industries. And so for me, that's where I want to be positioned strategically based on how the rest of my portfolio is allocated. So you also have to look at your portfolio overall. Does this make sense? Now, another thing that I will say to that is there are some industries that I simply do not want to be in. For example, alcohol and tobacco. Those are industries that I don't really want to be a part of just because of my own personal beliefs, and I just don't want to contribute to what they're doing. So I don't really believe in those industries and the impact that they're having. I want to have a positive impact on the people around me. And so I don't think that those things would necessarily have a positive impact, even though there's a ton of money in alcohol and tobacco. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive in a little bit further on industry. So with industry, the other thing you have to look at is this something long-term, right? So if you have a good industry, like let's say green energy. Okay, so we have green energy. We want to invest into green energy. Is this something that we think is going to last for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? I want to invest into things that are going to be long-term, because if I'm always having to reposition my portfolio and rebalance my portfolio, that just becomes a lot of admin, right? And if you have 20, 30, 50, maybe 100 different investments running, it starts to get a little bit complicated. And now you're having to spend a lot of time actively managing your passive income portfolio, which makes it active income, right? We want to make sure that we're not actively managing our passive income portfolio because it's meant to literally be passive income. We want to invest into things that fit our industry, fit our beliefs, and we really truly believe in the potential of that industry and that potential being unlocked and realized into what it can truly be. Sometimes there's a lot of potential in an industry, but maybe the people operating it, they don't really know how to manage that industry correctly. And that could really just be an opportunity for you to step in and maybe set something up and create an opportunity for others within that industry and help unlock some of that potential. I know I've been involved in a couple opportunities like that where I saw an industry and that industry was insanely profitable and there was so much opportunity there, but there was nobody there who had really figured out how to unlock that industry. And so I had to step in. My team and I, we were able to create opportunities for people within that industry in such a small way, but we were still literally able to help people make 6 and 7 figures passively from that industry. And guys, that industry that I'm talking about specifically here has not even reached its full potential. It's still being unlocked and people are still discovering new ways to make money in that industry. But I believe that we were part of something that was being pioneered and continues to be pioneered today. Anyways, the first one is industry. The second thing that I look at is a track record, right? So you don't really want to invest into things that don't have a track record. I have done this, by the way. I have invested into things that literally had 0 track record, but I also realized that it's going to be a little bit of a higher risk, and I hope that that's reflected in the potential profit. If somebody's pitching me an investment and let's say they're telling me I could make 20% and they've never done it before, it's not very attractive, right? Because I have stuff within my portfolio that I even offer to my students that literally by contract pays out 20%. Now, I'm not legally allowed to say guaranteed, but a contract is a contract. Now, it's either that operator completely goes out of business and doesn't pay us on the 20% that we made on that contract, or he's going to pay the 20% and continue growing his company because maybe he's growing at 50 or 100% a year. So that 20% to him is still profitable to use as an investment. So there's different factors like that. And so you want to make sure that you're looking at this in a holistic sense where you're looking at a track record. And if that track record exists, it's okay to invest into something that's maybe not super profitable. Maybe it's just 10 or 20 or 30% a year, but they've been able to consistently do this year after year after year. That gives you a ton of confidence. So it's okay to take a smaller profit on that. Now, that's not to say that you can't make a ton of profit with something that has a track record. I have had investments that have had 6 and 7 and 8 years of track record, and they're doing easily 50, 60, 70% a year or more. Usually though, if it doesn't have a track record, you're gonna wanna expect something that's more along the lines of 50% returns or 100% returns or more, especially because they're trying to build that initial track record. So if you believe in the industry, if they don't have a track record maybe, but you believe in the owners or the operators of that investment, it still might be a good deal, right? It still might be something that works, especially like, let's say it's your best friend operating an investment and he's the best coffee shop owner that you know, and he wants to start a new coffee shop. Well, of course he doesn't really have much of a track record, but you do believe in him and his abilities and his ability to execute on that vision. It may be a good investment, right? You might be able to help your friend and your friend will be happy to pay you some sort of profit on that investment. So anyways, that's the second part. The third part that I look at is the owners. So now we're leading to that final piece. We believe in the industry, we believe in the track record, or we see a physical track record. And now the third thing that we look at is the owner or the operator of that investment. So the person operating the investment, the person managing the day-to-day, do we believe in their ability to execute? If I believe in that person's ability to execute, it's likely that I'll probably invest into that investment. If I don't believe in their ability to execute, even if they have an amazing track record, even if they have a great industry, I just won't invest. For me, it just doesn't really fit my investment model to invest into people or opportunities who are run by people who I think may be inconsistent or inexperienced, or they just won't be able to execute to the level or the standard that I'm used to. I expect a certain standard with my investments, and if I don't believe that that person can meet that standard, I won't invest. Guys, trust me, there is no lack of investments in the marketplace. There are so many different investments. Don't get caught up in FOMO. Don't worry about missing out on an opportunity. The opportunities are endless, but I really recommend finding somebody who can help you walk through different opportunities, or maybe can provide you a vetted list of opportunities that they've tried themselves and they've made money with. So I try to do that as best as I can with my community. I go through different investments. I try them out myself. I literally put my own money into these investments. And if they work, I'll share with people. I'll tell them, hey, this has worked for me, or this has worked for me. Now this one over here, that one didn't work. So they can basically look at my portfolio, see the different things that I'm doing. And then based on the things that I'm teaching on how to operate these investments correctly, they're able to go out and do that on their own. And so they're able to build 6 and 7 figure portfolios for themselves, for their families, for their children, and really able to change their life. So those are the 3 things that I look at when I'm vetting an investment. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.